Hey guys, it's Brie Coccia of LongIslandSound.love, and today I'm with Laurie Anne Creus. Hey Laurie Anne.
Hey, Bree. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
So I hear you have a new single coming out called Nothing Lasts Forever,
Hmm.
parentheses, Anicca.
Yeah, you got it. Yes, I
Could you
do.
tell me a little more about that? Like when it's coming out, where we might be able to view it?
Yeah, it's going to be dropping on June 25th, and you're going to be able to get it on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube. Yeah, every place that DistroKid distributes to. So pretty
Wonderful.
much, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the title? Because I realize you have in the parentheses Anicca, which sounds
Mhm.
like a very beautiful word. Where did you get that from, or what made you feel like you should incorporate it into the title?
So in this song, there's actually a part that says the words like anicca, and that was actually the original title. And anicca is a Sanskrit term meaning impermanence, and it was a term I learned at a silent retreat about learning having to sit through being uncomfortable and being strong enough to withstand all those like physical sensations. Um, but I retitled it "Nothing Lasts Forever." I feel like that's a lot easier to spell and my name is already difficult enough, so I'm like, oh my gosh, if I have any shot of being seen on the internet, like I gotta make one of these things spelled a little bit easier. So Nothing Lasts Forever is sort of like the English translation of Anicca, and I kept that in there. And if you see the artwork, actually, um the title Nothing Lasts Forever is in the artwork, but the graphic on my eye is the Sanskrit art for the word Anicca.
That's so cool. I love
Yeah.
how that kind of also, I don't know, that reminds me of the third eye and like being open, being aware, so that, I don't know, I feel like that even gives it a little more of a meaning of like connection with this anicca and nothing lasts forever kind of awareness.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm all about like seriously. It was that thing that really that kind of motto that I was taught that really got me motivated to write the song and finish it and push through with it.
What did it mean to you at that moment when you first were inspired to write this song? Because obviously, this word and this idea that nothing lasts forever is a huge construct that kind of rules all of our lives. I feel today in society, most people could relate to that, whether it be death or whether it be with a new career or whether it be with their living situation. So, what has it personally meant for you?
Yeah, I mean it's something that really carries over in every single aspect of my life. And honestly, like I had started writing the song before I knew about the word Anicca. And the first lyrics of the chorus is your name is still burnt on my tongue, but I won't keep still while you're holding on. And that basically meant like my ex's name kept, like when you're dating somebody for so long, like their name is such a part of your vocabulary. And I was like, your name is still burnt on my tongue, but I'm not gonna stay here while you're trying to hold on to this relationship. And at that moment, that was the thing that was sort of temporary. I didn't know the feeling yet. I didn't know exactly what the song was about, but I could feel it almost like it was like some kind of volcano trying to explode. And I didn't know what that was. And so I had part of that song written. And then when I took that retreat and I learned that word, like while I was in meditation, like the song was playing in my head, and then I heard that word, and I started arranging the song in my head, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is what the whole thing is about. Like it's about moving past this relationship, this point in my life. And I mean, that relationship meant a lot of things in terms of who I was as like an adult at that time or a young adult and trying to move forward and grow. But yeah, nothing lasts forever basically means whether it's relationships, whether it's being in a, crummy situation or even happy things, like even your biggest celebrations. Like we hold on to those things for so long and we try to like identify ourselves with them so much. And then we get depressed like when we don't have that high anymore. And I learned that you have to be able to let go of those things just as much as you need to learn how to let go of the bad stuff, because just enjoy it while it's there. Stop trying to worry about how long it's going to be there for. Let it be what it's going to be, and then you'll be good. So that's what it's about.
I'm so happy that you were able to find a place in your life where you could come to realize those things and really, allow yourself the peace that you needed to let go of that situation you were in and that relationship and move past it. I feel like that's very hard for people. A lot of the time they feel trapped in these relationships or just situations where they want to preserve the feeling of goodness that they had. And um, it's hard to realize that we can't do that and accept that, we need to move past it and find other new celebrations and other reasons that and things that make us happy and to put our energy into. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
you just made me tear up. I'm like sitting here thinking
Oh,
about my own experiences with my own exes and like things that I've had to go through and endure with relationships or just experiences in life. And these past 2 years have been crazy. So like I really resonate with your feeling, and I really hope that other people can listen to this song and find that meaning for themselves and understand what they need out of life. Um,
yeah, no, I hope so too. And I mean, like, there's so much of like lyrically in the song that has to um do with that. Like that first lyric had to do with my ex. The second like verse has to do with like I can't waste one more day at the sidelines just getting by. It's like, all right, I can't watch my life pass me by. I need to go for it. And then like the last line is or the last verse is oh my gosh. I lie awake every night. I'm haunted by like and I live my life trying to justify it. Like I lie awake every night literally like just because I can't stop thinking about the things that are chasing me. And then I'm haunted by my dreams, and I don't mean it as a nightmare. Like I'm haunted by like the big goals that I have in my life. Like they haunt me. Like the big dreams I want for myself are the things that creep at me. And the lyric is like I'm still haunted by my dreams till someone tells me to believe. Like someone tells me to believe in them. And so it's a lot about chasing after those dreams, also sitting through like nightmares, and there's a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. There's so many different meanings. I think that anybody could really listen to this and interpret it in whatever way they need. And
Right.
I think it's definitely a song that will mean many different things to many different people.
Right.
Whether it's the same experiences that you have gone through or different, I think that that's something we could all relate to. The overthinking of like being almost a perfectionist with your craft or your career or whatever you have interest in. I suffer from this all the time. I'll spend hours and hours on something until I think it's perfect, but sometimes I need to remind myself to take a step back and think, this may be not what I dreamed it to be or the absolute best that I thought it was going to be, but it is good enough and everyone else will love it. And it's really hard to recognize that with yourself and recognize that you have that talent within you. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I totally understand because there's so many times I've created projects like that and then someone stopped me and been like, oh my God, you did such a great job. And I'm like, really? It's not even finished. And like, so I totally understand and relate with what you're saying. And I hope that more people can realize that and detach themselves from that. And it's a really hard process. So I
Yeah, for
commend you
sure.
for that.
Thank you. No, it's crazy too because like I've been the way I perform it live now has changed a little bit too from when I first recorded this, and like I sometimes I listen back to it, and sometimes I'm like, dang, I would have done this differently now, right? And for so long, that thought is what stopped me from putting anything out. And I watched countless interviews of other artists talking about I would have done this differently, and they're talking about like their major hits, like whether it's Paul Simon or whoever, and I'm like, dang, you know what? That's it. I'm just gonna always feel like that. This is a snapshot of my moment in that time, and I have the ability to recreate it in my future shows. Like I don't have to like keep updating it to where I'm at right now. Like that's where I was, and I can keep moving forward. And you know
I get it. I think it's important to see the growth between the songs that
that.
you created in the beginning and then the songs that you created later in your career because there's songs that I've written when I was a little kid, when I was 10 years old that, sound like I was in love with him, but he wasn't in love with me. And like, who was I
Yeah.
to say that at 10 years old? And now it's like I've learned how to eloquently put my words or position them the way I would like them to be heard. And you definitely learn through the process. This is will continuously be a learning process, but again, recognizing that that's where you started, but not where you'll end is such a crucial thing, I think,
Yeah.
for artists and
And
musicians.
then letting it all out, you know what I mean? And so that like it's important for you to see your growth and to own it like in the process. Like even though it's different than what you're doing, and that's what's taken me so long to get to this point.
Well, it's
But we're good
finally
from
here.
here. Yeah.
So, is there anything specifically that you want your listeners to grab from this song?
Yeah. The courage to just try whatever it is that you're afraid of. If you're afraid to speak up to your best friend about something you're worried about, if you're afraid to just dig into a class that you want to take that you're afraid to take because people might judge you, like if you want to take a dance class, whatever it is, like, or start a new project, you want to release music, you're a musician, or you're somebody that you feel like you need to move to a new state, or whatever it is, like, it's gonna be uncomfortable every time. And that feeling won't last forever. And you just have to push and give yourself the chance to take that leap. And then you could see what's on the other side. Like, there's nothing bad that can happen from taking that risk. Yes, you might get like a backlash from people, but the thing is, you did it, and now you know the answers, and now you know whether it worked or not, instead of making up answers for yourself. And like nothing lasts forever. Even that feeling, once you do the thing that you are taking a risk on, and you might disappoint people, that won't last forever. Like we have short attention spans. Take advantage of that, people. So just do whatever you want. That's what I want people to get out of this. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, it was such a pleasure talking to you today, Laurie Anne.
Great talking
And
to you too.
I really hope that everyone finds a new meaning for themselves in their life through this song.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope so
This is
too.
Brie Coccia of LongIslandSound.love, and this was Laurie Anne Creus. See you guys later.